Indianapolis, Indiana is a great place to live, but some of the best things about living in Indianapolis are the small towns, suburbs, and cities that surround it. Today, we're in Fortville, Indiana, just northeast of Indianapolis and just outside of Geist and the Fishers area. I've got some friends lined up that are going to take us on a little tour of the town, and we're going to stop by a couple restaurants, Denver's Garage and Do Lit. They're just two of the many restaurants here that are turning this small town into a culinary hotspot. Let's take a look. So I'm here with Fritz, the owner of Denver's Garage, and it looks like it was actually a garage.
It was a garage.
So tell me about the building, how the restaurant got its name, and
I've always wanted to be a restaurant. It never left my blood. I always enjoyed the energy when you're super busy. The endorphins are going off. It's like you're running a marathon. You got to make quick decisions. There's problems here, problems there. And I've always enjoyed that very much. And I always talked to Denver. He owned it, Denver Lee.
Okay.
And it was Denver's Automotive. And tell you a little bit about the history of this gas station. It's a mid-century modern. It was built in 1956. And it was probably the #1 gas station on the east side back in the 50s and 60s. And I always told Denver, I'd come over here about 3 or 4 nights a week and say, hey, I'll if you sell it to me, I'll name a restaurant after you. And we came up with that idea. I know there's other pizza restaurants around here, but we're the only one that has a sit down where you can come in, you can order a beer, and we have bands. The other pizza restaurants don't have that ability here in town.
Well, I know we're going to take a tour of Main Street and see some of the things along Broadway. There was one restaurant in particular that we talked about a few weeks ago, and that's Do Lit.
Yes.
Preston over there.
Yeah.
And so I know we're going to stop and see him, but I know you have a passion for every one of the restaurant businesses to thrive. Wow, so you got Kitchen on Main,
and you got Do Lit.
Just the Do Lit. You've got Taxman, Fox Garden, Moondrop, Denver's,
and then we got Maduro, cigar shop in town. So we got a lot of boutiques also.
All right, well, hey, let's go take that tour and stop in to see Preston and go from there.
All right.
So Preston, I'm sure you get this question a million times every day. What's behind the name Do Lit? What's the story?
So my last name is Zawali. In high school, I took German. Well, on my first day of German class, my teacher, he goes, Preston Zvala. I said, no, you're saying my name wrong. And he goes, no, you're saying your name wrong. He said, it's a German name. So I had German heritage. And in high school, when I took that class in German, I got a C. Didn't learn very much. What I did learn, though, was do means you in German. So you do lit, because you lit, like you lit a match, you lit a spark, you lit a flame, you got inspired. Just something I came up with, and it stuck. So
you got a great location here, right on Main and Broadway. But I understand you had a few challenges at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely it did. When I signed my lease, we were actually able to drive in, and then about 2 weeks after I signed my lease, before I even had my keys, they shut it down. And it had been shut down for the entire time. So for the first 7 months, so 6.5 months that we were open, we had no way of getting it out. And because of the town knowing that it's shut down here, nobody would come down here because they knew it was a dead end. So they weren't gonna come down here because there was no way to get out. Looking through your menu, I noticed you've got a lot of gluten-free and lactose-free items on the menu. Is there a reason you decided for that type of restaurant? I want people that have a normal diet to enjoy the food, but then I want a good portion of it to be for lactose intolerant people, and then another good portion of it to be for the people with celiacs or gluten sensitivity, because it's a game changer for those people with those diets. Now that we've had our healthy appetizer, why don't we head back to your place and get us some pizza and beer?
That sounds like a great idea.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Thanks for exploring Fortville with me today. There's so much more to see and do around Indianapolis. So until the next time, I'm your host, Jim Abner, and I look forward to our next adventure.